Switching back to the right. And as I say, I will come back later, sort out the rest of that. Do with a couple of little shadows just on the tufty part of the hair up here. And I'm also going to darken this animal here so that the head of this one stands out a little more. That blue highlight I've got there, just want that to pop a little more and make sure the line of the head is clearly defined. And with that in mind, I'm also going to just darken the foot of that animal back there, but not too heavily, so just smudging that with a damp finger. Okay, and while we've got this near black on the brush, we can move across to this animal here as well. And I mean, I've barely painted the eye so far, so I've got some colours down already which are going to kind of help me, but just a little bit of shadow in the right spot is going to help define that. The ear here needs to be much darker. And again, I can just adjust the shape. We'll darken the top left of the head. Again, just tidy up the shape of the shadow within the ear. Now the eye on the other side of the head is pretty much obscured in shadow in my photo, but I'm going to include it, but keep it pretty subdued. And then there's quite a deep shadow here on the nose. I'm just going to hint at that. I don't want to go into too much detail, but there is some dark shadow on the side of the head here as well. And we need a nostril. So we can add that, and then another one on the left as well. And again, the legs, the shape of the legs just needs to be just tidied up a little bit. Although a little bit of a sense of confusion with the legs when you've got groups of cattle, that can sometimes work quite well, even if you don't explicitly paint in every limb. You can sometimes get away with a surprising amount of uncertainty in terms of what you've put down on the paper, because it's kind of it's such a complicated mix of limbs that your brain can't handle it when you look at it. So it's sort of if the legs don't always exactly join up, really you need more animals than I've got here, which is why I've taken a bit more care. But if you're painting sort of 10 or 12 all huddled around each other, you can sometimes, if there are 12 animals and they're meant to be 48 limbs, you can sometimes get away with painting something like 35 legs or something like that, and it still looks okay if you do it in the right way. Okay, so obviously we've now moved over to this steer on the left of the painting. And again, I just want to put an indication of the eye. So with dark animals like this on a bright day, there's often very little of the eye showing really. There's not, it's in pretty heavy shadow, but there is an eye-shaped shadow there, which obviously, makes things look reasonably correct. And again, we need a nostril.